What's up, everybody? It's Dave Conrey from FreshRack.com, and you are listening to Creative Business Podcast, episode 32. My name is Dave Conrey. I live in Long Beach, California, and I am an artist, art director, and media strategist for creative entrepreneurs. Well, when I was building this business on the side, my bridge job, which was keeping me from doing the business, was I would spend 35 to 40 hours a week at that job, and then 2 hours each way, or 1 hour each way on commute, so at least 2 hours on the road, and all that time spent away from the family. And the little things like that eat at you. Plus, when I know I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna spend a bunch of time on my business, it's like these little things I know of. Like, I would sit in my office and I would look here in the living room and see my son, growing up through television, because that was just the way I had to do it. And it would kill me when he would come over to the desk and he would sit by me and just grab my arm and just, hug my arm and say, "Papa, will you go play with me?" And it's those moments, it's those moments that just make you think, like, God, there has to be a better way. This has to succeed. I found Marie, I think it was through one of her videos, through the Marie TV videos, and that was probably the first interaction I had with her. But then because B School was being promoted pretty heavily, I was starting to see it in a lot of different places. Well, I was like, there's something to this woman. And I was actually looking at different opportunities, different options for training. I was looking at, a few different groups. And after hearing Marie's story, it was just something about her story, about how she came up, where she started, struggling through, the bartending and doing the stuff on the side and all that. I mean, it was like, this really, truly resonates with me. And I don't remember exactly what it was she said, but there was one thing in that conversation was just like, I have to be involved in this program. It was worth it for me to make that investment. And I knew that if I did that, if I committed myself to that amount of money, that I was going to be committed to the program. I knew that, like, if I'm gonna pay that kind of money, I'd already promised my wife that I would follow through, all the way through. What I learned through B School is that we have more value than we give ourselves credit. We tend to think small about ourselves. We tend to think that we are not worthy of a lot of things. And it's not gonna be everybody, but when I went into this, I'm a 17-year veteran graphic designer, art director, and I went into B School thinking, I wanna do this, but I don't know if I have the knowledge to share with these people, because I feel like there's so much, there's so many that are so much further ahead of me in this type of business. And when I finally got the knowledge, I got the training in the course, I'm like, of course I know. Even if I wasn't the most experienced, I know more than a good portion of people below me. That whole ideology of when we're all climbing these ladders, like, we all take steps up the ladders and then we help the people that are below us up the ladder with us. We may not be at the top, but we can pull up people as we go. I want to work for myself, and I can't see myself ever going back to work for another company ever again. So I have to make this work. And so I have these moments where I feel inadequate. I feel that I am not worthy of that. And what's important is that if I can't get myself through it, there's this community. There's this community that is there that I can reach out to, whether as a whole or individually, because of these people that I've met, through a message or whatever. I can say to them, hey, what do you think about this situation? And they're gonna tell me, Dave, you're a dumbass, and you have absolutely no reason to think that, and this is, you are better than this, and you shouldn't be thinking that way. I mean, it's false. It's a false feeling, and again, that community is essential. And now I realize it's just like, man, it took me a long time to get here, but at least I'm here. It's never too late, right? It's just, at least I'm here. At least I got here. If somebody asked me whether they should do B School or not, the first thing I would tell them would definitely be, are you ready to do the work? Because you are gonna work your ass off. You're gonna work hard. And if you don't do the work, it's not gonna pay off for you. You have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to know that there's There's just more to it than a course. It's a life change, right? It's a lifestyle change. When I look back at myself, the person I was a year ago, it just, man, night and day, really. Especially mindset, like I really did. I mean, it changed the way I look at the world in general. And so, yeah, totally worthwhile. Every penny. I would do it again in a heartbeat. In fact, let me get my checkbook. That's gonna do it for us this time, folks. Remember, be good today and be even better tomorrow. We'll catch you next time. Take it easy, bye.